A veteran Washington journalist, Carl Bernstein, has revealed sources close to U.S. President Joe Biden have witnessed up to 20 incidents similar to the president's debate performance, but their concerns have been dismissed when raised internally. The Biden campaign has been in damage control since last Thursday, local time, when America's oldest ever president struggled through a debate with Donald Trump, mangling his sentences and appearing to lose his train of thought. Evidence of Biden's cognitive decline has been in full view during his presidency. However, Democratic Party politicians, media surrogates, and sympathetic journalists have repeatedly dismissed concerns about the 81-year-old's abilities when asked publicly. However, Bernstein, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist whose reporting on the Watergate scandal led to the resignation of President Nixon, says several people close to the current U.S. president have told him that what occurred during the debate was not a one-off. These are people, several of them, who are very close to President Biden, who love him, have supported him, and among them are some people who raised a lot of money for him. And they are adamant that what we saw the other night, the Joe Biden we saw, is not a one-off. Mr. Bernstein said in an appearance on CNN that there have been 15, 20 occasions in the last year and a half when the president has appeared somewhat as he did in that horror show that we witnessed at the debate. Bernstein said what was significant about the claims was the people they were coming from, as well as how many people around President Biden were aware of the incidents, with even some reporters witnessing them. These people who have supported him, loved him, campaigned for him, see him often, say that in the last 6 months in particular there has been a marked incidence of cognitive decline, he said. There have been numerous instances where the president has lost his train of thought. Can't pick it up again. There was a fundraiser at which he started at the podium, and then he became stiff, according to people there, as if it were almost a kind of rigor mortis. This was a year ago, almost exactly, at the old Four Seasons restaurant on Park Avenue. A chair had to be brought for him to do the rest of the event. According to Bernstein, many of the people who have witnessed these incidents of cognitive decline have attempted to raise the matter internally, either with President Biden's long-term aide and former White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain, or with members of the First Family. I think that what these folks are saying and have been saying for a while is, yes, he's great when we see him, but he also has these inexplicable moments that we are very concerned about. A journalist said. They've said, we need to talk about this, and they've been pushed back repeatedly whenever it's been brought up. The veteran reporter spoke to CNN's Anderson Cooper after President Biden had delivered a fierce rebuke to the Supreme Court following a recent decision on the constitutionality of certain attempts to prosecute President Trump. While the public statement was pre-prepared and delivered with the assistance of a teleprompter, Bernstein said it was an example of Biden at his absolute best. Asked whether there were particular issues the president was engaged with, Bernstein said it was clear he was sharpest when dealing with matters of national security. There is no question I have heard for 2 years how sharp Joe Biden is in his national security leadings, Bernstein said. He has special briefing books on Ukraine, on the situation in Gaza, that go down into very detailed military reports. He has an absolute command of the facts. He's sharp as can be. You see the evidence of his being the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate, of his work as vice president on foreign relations. So we're clearly dealing with two sets of one person, and it really needs to be explored. President Biden spent the weekend following his debate performance at Camp David discussing his future with his family. Reports published on Monday indicate his family has encouraged the 81-year-old to stay in the race, with First Lady Jill Biden and son Hunter Biden most opposed to the president stepping aside. But as Bernstein said, this is an issue that's not going to go away. I think an awful lot of major Democrats believe this, including some who have made statements to the contrary, he said.